You know, when I was a kid, I loved horror movies. I became fascinated by them when I was way too young to be watching them. So frequently, I would give myself nightmares. But one movie stood above the rest as a special sort of nightmare fuel. Nightmare nos, if you will. And that movie was 1984's Dreamscape. The camera does not want to focus. 1984's Dreamscape. So today I'm going to check it out after all these years and see if it's as freaky as I remember. Alex Gardner is having a very good day at the racetrack. Of course, Alex always has a good day at the track because Alex is psychic. Alex is played by a very fresh-faced Dennis Quaid during those sweet years after Jaws 3D, but before Dragonheart. It was a very special time. Unfortunately for Alex, his abilities have put him on the radar of a government-funded program experimenting with dreams and telepathy. And they recruit him in that sort of fun, secret government, you can't say no sort of way. The program is run by Max von Sydow, aka Brewmeister Smith from Strange Brew, and Kate Capshaw, aka Willie from the Temple of Doom, who, by the way, if you didn't know, married Steven Spielberg back in 1990, and who, if you didn't notice, is 100% mom hot. Basically, these experiments involve psychics aided by technology entering another person's dream. So kind of like Inception meets Revenge of the Nerds. Or some other 80s movie on a college campus. I don't know. That's all I could think of. Alex quickly meets the program's star psychic, Tommy Ray.
You want my secrets?
No, I don't.
Every second Tommy Ray is on screen creeps me out. He has this simmering narcissist energy that I find very uncomfortable. Tommy is played to perfection by David Patrick Kelly, who you might remember from The Warriors, Twin Peaks, and John Wick? What? So yeah, Tommy Ray is a frickin' rock star. But it turns out Alex is a natural when he successfully enters someone's dream on the first try. A construction worker dreaming about construction. My God, that is a man dedicated to his trade. And it's about this time that a slimy government suit named Blair introduces himself to Alex. He seems very friendly, so obviously he's going to turn out to be the villain. Another red flag that he'll turn out to be a secret a-hole is that he is played by Christopher Plummer, who you might remember as General Chang from Star Trek VI. Which, by the way, in case you didn't know, Star Trek VI is my favorite Star Trek movie. There's old Christopher Plummer right there. You know, this movie has a genuinely top-notch cast. It's like the Super Smash Bros. Of 80s actors. So there's a B-plot that I have not told you about yet. The President of the United States is having nightmares. Horrifying visions of nuclear war and the post-apocalyptic fallout. So these nightmares have gotten to the point where the president is basically on the edge of a breakdown. But of course, when you're at your weakest, that's when our old buddy Blair shows up and lets the president know that this secret dream program that he's working on might just be able to help him with his nightmares. And now it's time for Alex's next experiment. And oh boy, is it a doozy. Buddy is a kid that can't sleep. He has terrible nightmares every night, and he doesn't really remember them. So Alex wants to see if he can go in and help. And well, it goes sideways in a fucking hurry. In Buddy's nightmare, he is being chased by the boogeyman through a house that looks like Tim Burton designed it on a really bad day. So as the space of the house becomes increasingly surreal, Alex and Buddy find themselves cornered. So Alex starts fighting the boogeyman, but he can't do it alone. And that gives Buddy the courage to face his fear, and he grabs that axe and straight up decapitates old Snakeface just like he was Pamela Voorhees. So I guess Alex is feeling pretty full of himself at this point because he asks Kate Capshaw out on a date. She turns him down pretty hard, and Alex ends up going to the bar alone to lick his wounds, shall we say.
You work with Paul Mavandi.
Paul who?
Right. Paul who?
Norm is in this movie. Norm from Cheers. This is the greatest cast of all time. So Norm is an author. He writes thrillers. And while researching his new book, he has uncovered not only that this dream program exists, but he's also uncovered that it may be more sinister than it appears on the surface. When Alex gets back from the bar, he finds Kate Capshaw sleeping in her office. And he decides to do something very creepy. He decides he's going to try to enter her dream. And he does. In her dream, they get it on. And when she wakes up, she is very upset, understandably so. Yeah, this scene is pervy, and I think in this day and age it brings up all kinds of issues of consent. So yes, I would have preferred to have just glossed over this scene. Unfortunately, this scene gives us a very important plot point, which you may have noticed. Alex didn't use the machine to enter Kate Capshaw's dream. He has gotten good enough to do it all on his own. Tommy Ray, on the other hand, has a much less fun day of dream linking when his dream subject has a massive heart attack and dies while he's in her dream. But Alex doesn't like Tommy's weirdly chill attitude about the whole thing, so he does a little digging. And it turns out Tommy Ray killed his own father when he was a teenager. And Alex is starting to think Norm might be right, and this program might be sketchy. So when Alex tries to tell Norm what he's found out, government goons show up and murder Norm and kidnap Alex, and Alex finds himself face to face with Blair. And this is when all of the threads of the movie kind of finally start all weaving together. Blair and Tommy Ray are in cahoots. Tommy actually murdered the woman who had the heart attack in her dream. When you kill someone in their dream, you kill them in real life. And you may remember that Blair is bringing the president to this dream program to help him with his nightmares. In fact, Tommy Ray is going to assassinate the president in his dream. Alex manages to escape Blair, and with Kate Capshaw's help gets into the president's dream to try and save him from Tommy. Unfortunately for Alex, Tommy has a lot more practice in the dream world. I mean, he's pulling out hearts, he's manifesting trainloads of sloughing post-apocalyptic ghouls.
He's the one who pushed the button. He did this to you. He did this to you!
Let me say this real quick. Of everything we've seen, those flashes of the ghouls on that subway car, train car, those are the images burned into my brain from when I was a kid. That moment was so scary to me. And Tommy's showing off his killer kung fu skills. But most importantly, Tommy knows how to play on someone's fear. And he knows what Alex is afraid of. The boogeyman. It would seem like it's curtains for our heroes. But thankfully, Alex is a quick learner, and he's got a trick or two of his own. He takes the form of Tommy Ray's murdered father and begs Tommy to tell him why. Why did you murder me? It completely, emotionally disarms Tommy. And in that moment that Tommy's distracted, the president stabs him through the heart. And Tommy dies in the dream and in the real world. So Alex explains to the president that Blair was behind the assassination attempt. But of course the president is smart enough to know that saying, hey, General Chang tried to have me murdered in my dream is probably not going to hold up in court. So it would seem that Blair is untouchable, which I guess he is when he's awake. Oh yeah, you knew it. Alex was going to give him a taste of his own medicine the first chance he got. The end. So after all these years, does Dreamscape still hold up? Yes, it easily earns a spicy on the Kate Beckin scale. Dreamscape simultaneously is a thriller, it is a horror movie, it has elements of sci-fi, and it also has elements of sort of the metaphysical. And it mixes all of those things together shockingly well. That is not to say that Dreamscape is a perfect movie. There's a couple times when Dreamscape tries to do straight up comedy, and it is so out of place, it is such a curveball, and you're far enough into the thriller that is the plot that it completely derails any momentum that you had going. And I guess I feel like a filmmaker should know better than to halt the momentum of a thriller. That's kind of what a thriller is the burn, you know? But I gotta say, all in all, Dreamscape is still awesome, and it is still 100% worth a watch. Alright, that's it for me today. As always, thank you so much. If you're here, if you're at the end of the video, it means you watched. I hope you had a good time. However it is that you choose to interact with this channel, if you just watch, if you subscribe, if you're a commenter, however it is that you choose to interact with this channel, if you enjoy it and it gives you a little bit of entertainment, I really appreciate it, because there's a lot of stuff to watch on YouTube, and the fact that you took time out in your day to hang out here for a little bit, it means a lot. It just means a lot. That's all. So yeah, until next time, I will catch all you dirty dogs and you alley cats on the flip side. Bye-bye. That's my old outro. I didn't do my new outro. Whether you're a cool cat who likes to tap dance, whatever. You know what I mean. Just thanks. That's all.